Hi everybody, this is Mira here. Some of you might know me from my previous channels. Unfortunately, I am having to start all over again. Thankfully, I didn't have very much on the other channels. So from the beginning, a lot of you probably know me as Kajira Amber. I did videos a few years back by the request of my master at the time. And unfortunately at the time I didn't have the confidence and it just didn't really work out. My master now suggested to give it another try. So here we are. I'm going to start back from the beginning. For those who have not seen my previous videos, they are still up if you want to look them up. I was very shy, wasn't as knowledgeable then as I am now, and I think I was only about 19 or 20 when I did the videos. I'm 24 now, almost 25 actually, so I have a little bit more life experience. This video is mainly just going to be my introduction. I am, before anyone comments or says anything, I don't care what you have to say about the fact that I'm missing teeth. I got an infection that almost killed me due to a dentist's mistake. I had to have the teeth pulled. I do not intend to get dentures or anything of the sort. I personally don't care for man-made things. I don't think that man-made things should go inside the body. Yes, I am a bigger girl. No, I don't care. I happen to like the way I look, and I'm actually working on losing weight. I've already lost about 10 to 12 pounds with little to no effort. So, get all of that out of the way. I do appreciate criticism as long as you are respectful about it. The second you are disrespectful, your comments will be deleted. I will not respond to negative messages either. But I love to hear opinions, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm an open book. I have no problem answering questions. I do not know everything about BDSM or Gore. I am still learning. Here I am 5 years later, and I'm still learning. I have been in and out of the lifestyle for 5.5 years now, mixing Gore and BDSM. For those who don't know what Gore is, it is a lifestyle similar to BDSM, based off of books written by John Norman. The first one is called Tarnsmen of Gore. Look it up. They're not bad books, you guys, really. Especially considering when they were written, and also knowing that John Norman was very big into the philosophical side of things. If you can get past some of the bigger words and explanations of things, they're actually really good. The difference between Gore and BDSM mainly is the fact that with BDSM you can have different categories. So you can have a dom or a master or a dame or a mistress. You can have switches. You can have subs, slaves, pets, baby girls. BDSM covers it's a canopy term. It covers so much. Gore technically would fall under BDSM, and I know that is going to piss off a lot of the Gore community, and I am sorry. But this is not Gore. This is Earth. I'm sorry. We cannot live it the way it should be lived, were we on Gore, or the way that John wrote it to be lived. So technically Gore does fall under BDSM, but I do consider it its own category. With Gore, you are either a master or a mistress, so a free. That is what you would be called. You are either a free or you are a slave. There is no other options. There are no other terms. There are no other routes you can take. You are one or the other. I've always been submissive by nature. As a kid, I much preferred helping clean and doing the cooking and everything at my own birthday parties, even over playing with the toys, playing with the other kids, things like that. And it has gotten steadily stronger as I have gotten older. Now, when I previously did this vlog, a couple of the things that I hit on were some questions that I heard frequently, like, why are there so many bigger girls in the BDSM and Gore community? If we're being honest here, it's because a lot of the girls that get started in BDSM do it for the wrong reasons. For me personally, I have a very abusive past. I was held as a sex slave, borderlining on sex trafficking, for months. When I was only about 13, 14 years old, by someone that I thought I could trust. And it really damaged my self-esteem, and it did some mental and emotional damage. Obviously, it did some physical harm too. But when I got away from that abuser, I already had it in my mind that that's all I was good for. Was being used, being walked on, being abused. That's all I deserved. That's what I had in my mind. So when I moved to a new town, it was really small. The population wasn't anything near what I was used to. I very easily wound up in a very similar position. Now the difference was I didn't live with this abuser. I would willingly go to where he was to keep him from abusing a friend of mine. Thankfully, I got away from him fairly quickly. I think he only had his claws in me for a couple of months, which is still a lot, don't get me wrong, especially at 14 years old, but it wasn't nearly as long as my previous abuser. By the time I started standing up for myself, I was into drinking and drugs. My mental state was completely diminished. I had a friend that I'd known since childhood who introduced me into BDSM because he saw me as a natural submissive. I was really unsure about it at first. I was very cautious. I didn't want to trust it. I didn't want to trust him, but I'd known him most of my life, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I found that I was a natural slave. And I actually really liked it, and I wound up using BDSM to cope with the abuse that I'd been through. It worked better than any therapy I'd ever been through. And I know that may sound completely backwards, but everybody's different. And for me, realizing that in BDSM, I had a say over what happened to me. I had hard limits and soft limits, and if you crossed those, I could tell you to screw off. I'm trying to watch my language. So it helped empower me. I didn't feel as weak anymore. A few years go by, a few masters in between, and I was on an IMVU. I was on IMVU online with some friends, and it's a 3D chat. People roleplay there a lot. I still get on there 6 years later. But I kept hearing people, you know, don't go into Gore rooms. Gore is bad. It's all about rape and this and that and force collarings and all this other crazy stuff. And of course, I got curious. All it did was make me want to learn more. So I went to a good friend of mine that I've known since I was 16, and I was like, hey, what's this all about? I want to learn more. I keep hearing about it. How can I learn more? Well, she had a friend that was actually into Gore. And to protect his privacy, and because I have not asked his permission to state his name, we're going to call him Master A. Master A and I started talking, and we actually wound up getting along pretty well. He lived in Hawaii, and I live in Utah. So it was all long distance. When it started out, it was just role play on IMVU. His computer went down. We started role playing on Skype. And he helped me learn. After a while, it turned into me actually being under his collar in real life. And it was hard. Long distance relationships are hard enough, but having a master-slave relationship that's long distance, you guys, I got in so much trouble. But we made it work. Things wound up not working out, and we went our separate ways. They ended really badly at first. And he actually wound up marrying the friend that introduced us, and they have a beautiful little boy now, who is actually kind of my adopted son. We're all still really close, and we talk. So things ended on a good note for the most part. We've had our issues, but we still talk. We're still friends. I actually, shortly after parting with Master A, met my current master, Marius. And we have been together for 4.5 years now. We are legally married, which, if this were Gore, would not happen. But this is Earth, so like I said, this is where we kind of mix things, because it's impossible to live the Gorean way 100%. I am married to him. I do love him with all my heart. He is the best master I have ever had. He is an amazing husband. We've even explored the DDLG side of things, because I do have a bit of a little side, which he loves, and I get free reign now and then to let my little side out. But majority of the time, I am a Kajira. Kajira literally means slave girl. And that's what I am. I wear my collar 24/7. It does not come off unless there's an emergency, and that can't really be helped. If I need an x-ray or something, depending on where the x-ray's at, I'm gonna have to take it off. I feel very naked when I have to take my collar off. I feel very exposed and vulnerable, and I don't feel safe. And that may sound completely backwards, but it's a comfort that I have found, and it works for me. And like I've said in the past, to each their own. So anyway, I'm kind of all over the place, you guys. I'm sorry. I actually had notes all written down. I decided just to wing it, because I didn't want to sound like I was reading off of a script. I hate that so bad. So I'm winging it. This video is already about 15 minutes long. So I'm gonna close with this. I will be making more videos. I will actually probably be making a second one today, just because I kind of went off on a tangent. And both will be posted. Ask me questions, you guys. I will put all of my contact information, my email, my Fetlife, and whatnot down in the description. I think it's still at the bottom. Feel free to message me, ask me questions. If you guys have ideas for videos you'd like me to do, let me know. and I will incorporate it. If you have a question that I don't feel is appropriate to answer in the vlog, I'll message you personally and I'll answer it, or just keep an eye out. You may hear your question in my next vlog. So I'm going to end this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.